Hi guys, just a quick tip for you today on setting up your drum kits in an efficient way. Now let's imagine for a second that you're trying to get these two stands, and they could really be any two stands, but let's imagine we're trying to get them really close together. You need that for some reason. Maybe there's a wall over here, maybe there's a bass drum over here, maybe you have 6 other stands around them already. And you want them to get closer together, and no matter what you do, the legs just won't get in a position where you need them. What do? Well, every drummer should own at least one, if not more, of these. This is just a clamp. It takes one stand and it clamps it to another. So, if you already know about these, you should probably be using them more because they really make your setup a lot less irritating to deal with. You have fewer tripod bases, and that's always a good thing. But if you don't know, I'll just show you how this works real quick. Okay, so this is a Gibraltar brand multi-clamp or accessory clamp, and every company that makes hardware makes one of these. Typically there is one long piece in the center that connects the two halves together, and then 2 shorter pieces that move independently so that you can get 2 different sized stands or whatever clamped together. So the nice ones, this will actually come free. There's like a U-shaped notch here so that you can rotate it out of the way and you don't have to undo the wing nuts all the way to take this on and off. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick a stand, either stand that we want to keep the base of, and we're going to just rotate this thing onto the wing nut here. We're going to tighten it up till it's firm. Okay? Then we can do away with this stand base entirely. We just take whatever cymbal stand or whatever you want, you take the top piece out of it, and you just get rid of that. It's gone, okay? And then of course you're just going to put this into the other half of the clamp, which is pretty easy. You just tighten up the wing nuts here on the other side. And there you go. 1 stand base, 2 stand tops. So one thing I've noticed when I'm out there gigging and looking at other drummers' kits that are on the shows that I'm on is that a lot of people, if they have 5 cymbals, they'll have 5 cymbal stands, like just 1 for each, which makes it a real pain for this exact thing. All the stand bases needing to be exactly specifically planned out and marked, and if you don't do that, it takes forever to figure out how you used to have it back at the practice space, etc. It's a big problem. If you just have a couple of these clamps laying around, you can reduce the number of stands that you need to bring to any given gig, which is always a good thing. If you really try, you can probably get 2 or even 3 of these things on 1 stand base, such that you could probably have just 1 stand on one side of your kit and 1 stand on the other, and that might cover all of the things that you'd like to mount: toms, cymbals, auxiliary pieces, you name it. And if not 2, maybe 3, but there's no reason you should have 5, 6 or more stands lined up around your kit. So I'll just show you here my current clamp setup, which is insane, I admit that. This is a cymbal stand. It's heavy duty double braced, like DW stand. And off of that 1 cymbal stand, I am using a clamp like the one I just showed you to clamp my 2 rack toms. They're both off of this same thing. Then off of the rack tom stand, I have another clamp. I think this is a Tama brand clamp, doesn't really matter though. And I have another cymbal stand off of that. So it's like a clamp off of a thing that is clamped onto a thing. And the reason for that is I just needed the toms at a certain distance away from my snare, and I needed, of course, 2 cymbals right in proximity to that. These 3 stands weren't going to get this close together if they all had their tripod bases. So a double clamp is the way to go, and it is in fact strong enough. I really pound on it and it's fine. So I think where people get the idea that they need a ton of cymbal stands is that when you just have 1 ride and 1 crash when you're a beginner, they each get their own stand because they're on opposite sides of the kit usually. And then as you progress in your drumming and you get a budget for more cymbals, basically, you just start buying stands to go with each cymbal, because of course you have to, but then because you bought the whole stand with the tripod, you think, well, I got to use the whole stand with the tripod, and then you get this giant forest of stands out there. And then people think, oh, I need a rack system because this is too cluttered, and they spend more money on an expensive rack system that then takes 2 people to take on and off stage and all this other stuff that goes with the rack system. And you don't really need that. If you just have a couple extra cymbals that you think are maybe too many stands and it's getting cluttered, the clamp. It's the way to go. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Have fun and clamp up.